Hello fellow Tamers, Digi on the mic. If you're looking for an Eosmon build that is so fun, rarely bricks, and really has some cool, awesome combo plays that you can unleash on your opponent, then this is the video for you, as I've made a deck using green and playing to the strengths of Eosmon with the new cards, win rate 60%, and Anolog Youth, or as I like to call him, the ball. So if this is the video for you as I break down my ratios and my tech, then make sure you stick around, grab a pen, and enjoy. And if you're new to the channel and you want some more Digimon card game content, then make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell, because I do videos on the reg. Okay, let's go through the ratios and what I have done with this deck. For the eggs, I'm running 5 in the deck, starting off with 4 Argomon. Currently this is the best egg that we've got in BT6/EX1 format until BT7, where we do have access to the green Cherrymon egg, which when attacking you can reveal the top card of your deck. If you want that card, pop it in your hand. If you don't, put it at the bottom of the deck, so it has that sweet search capability. But for now we're using Argomon because on your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, during your unsuspend phase, gain 1 memory. So you just get that nice bit of 1 additional memory in order for you to kind of execute your play, especially with your level 5 and your level 6 Eosmon, which is really handy. Then we have the 1 Pinamon just because it looks pretty awesome, and with this, when attacking once per turn, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, trigger 1 draw. So this is when essentially, you know, you want to get rid of one of your opponent's Digimon just because they're a bit of a threat. Going for the swing, you get 1 more draw, add that bit of search capability, but I'm only running 1 in the deck because it's very rare that this actually happens. So that's the Digi Eggs. Let's discuss the rookies. For the rookies, I run 10 in this deck, starting off with Morphomon running at 4. Absolutely fantastic card just because of its search range capability. So on deletion, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 Menoa Belluci and 1 Digimon card with Eosmon in its name amongst them and place it into your hand. So you have the best scenario of getting 2 cards of this search, of this effect. So fantastic, and the reason why you need to be running 4, just so you can start executing plays and triggering off then your other search engine, which is going to be your Menoa Tamer. Then I run 3 Wormmon. I've reduced this down to 3 just to make some room for some 2-drops. So Wormmon is fantastic because it has got that great search range, and with this deck I've created it in a way that I'm wanting you to search and get your key pieces that you need to essentially use the memory more efficiently and prevent bricking. So same with Morphomon, it does have the on deletion effect, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 level 4 or level 5 card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So once again, fantastic surge range. I have reduced it to 3 just because I want to make some more room for some 2-drops, and the 2-drops are going to be my 3 Argomon level 3s. So this is fantastic just to kind of choke out your opponent and essentially set up your evolution plays on your next turn, because I do have some searches in the champion range which is definitely going to help right there. So having 3 of these really helps with the deck, and definitely would advise running 3. You could push it to 4 if you want to, but I feel like 3 is just a happy medium because we do have ways to search out our rookies and actually play them. So that's the rookies. Let's discuss the champions. For the champions, I'm running 8 in the deck, starting off with 4 Togemon. Absolutely great addition for this deck, just once again following the theme of just having that search capability. Really good for me to just pick out the cards I need quickly in order for me to get the edge on the opposition. So for a Digivolution cost of 2, when Digivolving, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, and then add 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card amongst them to your hand, and then place the cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. It is actually rather important to place your decks in a particular order with this deck because there's so much draw capability when getting cards with, obviously you've got your search from Toga, you've got your searches from Menoa Belluci, which can, you know, stack, and then you've got your green memory boost. It's very important for you to make sure that you're stacking it in order that you can actually pick out your cards efficiently. So Togemon is fantastic in that way, because if you do have the Tamers set up, you can effectively get 3 cards from this, because you're going 1 for the Evo, you get 1 from Aiba when you suspend that, and then you get the actual effect from Toga. So this is the reason why I run 4 in the deck, and it really helps with my 2-drop. I can effectively just climb quickly to my ultimate play. Then I run 4 Eosmon LV4. Absolutely great card, bit risky, but it's good if you don't have the pieces that you need on the first turn. Granted, you're going to be giving them 4, but effectively, if you was going to go in with your Tamer, you could effectively just throw this down, do its on play, which enables you to play a white Tamer a cost of level 4 or less for free. Granted, the bad side is that the opposition can do the same, but if they haven't got any Tamers, it really gives you a good edge on your next plays right there. So it's completely up to you, very situational, but if you can Evo this up to a level 5, at least then you can get its inheritable. When attacking, you can play one of your white Tamers at the play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. That is super powerful and very key for you getting your main strategy for your level 6 Eosmon play to effectively use its ability and also get some more security checks. So I run 8 champions in the deck. Let's go over to the ultimates. For the ultimates, I run 13 in the deck, starting off with 10 Eosmon level 5s. So you're probably thinking this is quite a low ratio right here. We used to seeing like 13, 14, even 15 Eosmon level 5s in play. In this deck build, I have no issue in locating my Eosmon level 5s because I've created the search engine so wide that I can just get these cards out efficiently. I've got my Togemons that can search them out, I've got Wormmon that can search them out, Morphomon, Menoa Belluci, Anolog Youth. Yeah, I'm spoilt for choice. I'm legit spoilt for choice. So this is the reason I run 10 in the deck, and the actual on play on this is pretty nice. Well, I say on play more when attacking, is that it enables you to play a level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost. So this is where essentially the swarm mechanic comes in and is really good for setting up some great combo plays, especially because when you do play a Eosmon, you can then trigger your Menoa Belluci's off from that as well. Obviously, adding that nice search engine, depending on how many you've got in play, you can just proc them all off, and then you're pretty much rooting through your deck. So this is why I stress that it is important to actually have that deck order when you are doing your searches, because most likely you're gonna be going through your entire deck. So definitely be vigilant on that front. But this is the reason why I run 10 in the deck. And then lastly, I run 3 Cherrymon. So this has been a fantastic addition because 1, it's a 7k blocker. That really adds a lot of board presence and really helps you out. 2, you can actually swing and not get the negative effect of, you know, paying 2 memory costs like you'd get from a champion blocker, which is actually pretty nice. Really, really good, especially if you want to kind of claim game. Then it's at a 2-cost Evo, which is fantastic. So if I'm playing my Argomon, going into my Togemon, getting that search off, and then going into Cherrymon, it means that that's only cost me 6 memory, which is pretty clean. If I've got a green memory boost in play, I can essentially proc that off and play this out for free. Also, I'm building that stack off, so it gives me another option in order for me to essentially play my level 6, giving me an additional security check because I've evoed from Argomon, Togemon, Cherrymon. That's essentially meeting the requirements of the level 6 in order for me to then swing for 2 checks instead of essentially the 1 if I was going to raw play it. So Cherrymon is fantastic, really helps with the Anolog Youth combo as well. definitely would advise running him because he's been an absolute delight and easily searchable as well, because you do have the green memory boost that you can search for him. You have obviously the Togemons, you have Wormmon. So yeah, great ways to obviously get this mon into your hand, ready for you to block. So that is my ultimate line. Let's go over to the megas. Now for the mega, the one and only Eosmon level 6. And I mean, I'm running this at 4, you should not run any less. Eosmon level 6 is a powerful mon to have on the field. The presence is strong, but the issue before the EX1 set was that it was pretty much, when you're going to play it, you was going to pass a turn. We're being very unfortunate. Now with the new EX1 set, there's a lot more combos that can be played in order for you to get this out for free cost instead of 5, which is massive. Absolutely huge, because 9 times out of 10 your opponent's going to try and choke you out. Because you got Menoa Belluci out on play, you're going to be starting off at 3, so you can comfortably go with a win rate, set up for the condition, sacrifice one of your Eosmon level 4 or 5, and then play this bad boy out for the cost of 1, because win rate does reduce the cost of 4. So really good combo and great for you to get this mon out, because when digivolving, for each tamer you and your opponent have in play, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Eosmon from your trash at the top of this Digimon's Digivolution cards in any order. So once again, this is going to be setting up the conditions in order for this mon to be incredibly scary, because if 2 or more cards were placed by this effect, you're able to delete one of your opponent's Digimon, and that's any Digimon. It's not tied to DP value, level value, play cost value. This is just anyone, any threat, boom. So your level 6 is your main attacker that you want to be going into to, you know, clear out their security, as well as your main source of removal outside of the Cutting Edge option card. So you want to be building this mon up, and you want to be using him on the same turn as it's played, because on your turn, for every 3 Digivolution cards in this Digimon has, it gains security attack 1. So depending on the situation, the game state, when it comes to like your late game, there's a lot of tamers out from yourself and the opposition. This mon can become incredibly scary, and you could easily achievable to get 3 security checks off in one big swing, which is ideal because you should have a fair few Eosmon on the field as well to obviously claim game. On top of that, the way this deck is built, we do have our stacks that are going to be built up in the process. So you're going to have your Argomon, Togemon play, obviously trigger the draws off the evolution, trigger the effects of Togemon, then go into your Cherrymon. If you evoed on top of that, if you wanted to secure game, you've already secured the main condition of the actual stack to get the security check, and then whatever is in your trash and what ES1 you're going to be pulling out, you could easily get another 6 Eosmon from your trash, place that on there, and you're swinging big. Obviously, you do have that issue of, you know, if you run into a Gaia Force or a Iron Fist and Onslaught, you're pretty much screwed. But the fact that you can play this mon out a lot more easily and efficiently, especially with this deck build, makes it a very nice mon to have. And the way this deck is created, in terms of the search range, you definitely got to find this piece. You're going to find this piece a lot quicker than the usual other deck kind of builds. So without a doubt, you can be a bit more aggressive with this mon, because you'll have the cards, you'll be able to execute the plays. If you've got green memory boost chilling in the delayed effect, and obviously you play it, that's giving you additional 2 memory. So even if you haven't got the win rate, effectively you are still playing this mon down for 3 costs instead of 5. There's great ways to get this mon out now, which this is the reason why I built this deck build, is to play this mon way more efficiently and actually swing on my turn. So that is my mega. Let's go over to Tamers and Options, because they do play a massive part in this deck. Okay, let's discuss the Tamer and Options, but starting off with the Tamers, we play 4 Menoa Bellucis. Absolutely staple in the deck because she's going to be your main searcher for Eosmon cards, and very good at it as well. If you manage to get 2 or more of these out, you're pretty much searching through your whole deck. That's 9 cards that you're searching through, and you're picking up 3, which is beautiful. On top of that, she enables you to make sure that you never get choked, which is perfect. She resets your memory to 3 if it's below 2, which is fantastic right there. And when you play an Eosmon, that's when you can suspend Menoa, and that's when you're able to perform your searches. And if you get a Tamer or 1 Digimon card with Eosmon in its name, you can place it in your hand. So great ways to get your Tamers, great ways to get your Eosmon, an absolutely powerful search card for you. And this is the reason why I stress that the card placement when you are doing your searches is very key, because you're going to be rooting through your deck quite consistently. So this is the reason why I run 4 in the deck. Obviously it keeps my security spicy there too, which in an Eosmon deck you definitely need some spice, otherwise the opponents just have free reign and just chew through your deck pretty easily. Then I run 2 Anolog Youths. So this is the new card, part of the EX1 set, and an amazing card, and is very, very versatile. So for play cost of 2, and because it is a white card, Eosmon level 4 can play this for free in part of its inheritable, which is really good. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, then add 1 Digimon card amongst them to your hand, and then trash the remaining. So with an Eosmon deck, the ideal draw would be getting to level 6 and bumping into 2 Eosmons of level 4 or level 5, because ideally you're putting them in the trash in order for you to meet the condition of, for your level 6 to 1 pop 1 of the opponent's Digimon. So this is the reason why Anolog Youth is pretty powerful in this deck, and is definitely one of the cards that Eosmon's been waiting for the deck to kind of run a bit more consistent as well. So it's kind of preventing you from bricking a little bit as well as setting up the trash early game. Then the absolute spice of this card, if it wasn't already OP enough, all turns, when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer. If you do, you gain 1 memory and hatch an egg card to the empty space of your breeding area. Absolutely powerful right here, because this can actually steal turns. So scenario, if the opponent is going to go for a swing, and I've got Cherrymon built up from Argomon, Togemon, and then Cherrymon, I'm gonna block. I can then suspend these 2 Anolog Youths, triggering 2 memory, which will then put the actual counter on my side. And if I've got Menoa Belluci on the board, that is then going to hard reset to 3. So not only that I've stolen their turn, I've also, 1, got my memory nicely to 3, and also got an egg ready for my turn. And then because it is my turn, you can resuspend that back up again. So if you go into, say, if you had an Eosmon level 4 and an Eosmon level 5, obviously using those as the Digivolution stack, if you swing into the opponent and, well, swing into security, then get deleted, you could essentially suspend those again and go up to 5, which enables you to pretty much comfortably go into your level 6 Eosmon for 5 and actually swing and pop 1 of their Digimon as well, because you met the requirements. So Anolog Youth, the tech behind this card is crazy. The fact that you can actually use this as part of the level 4 Eosmon, if you want to just hard play it, sub out a Anolog Youth, then trigger that's on play effect, or if you've got a level 5 Eosmon and you've got level 4 as the part of the Digivolution stack, got that inheritable, go for a swing, triggering off the Eosmon, bring in then another Eosmon. If you've then got Menoa Belluci, suspend those, and then obviously do those draw effects, get all that good stuff. Then you play your Anolog Youth, then do that on play, get more draws. The combos and the interactions with this deck build is mental. The amount of draw power that you can get is crazy. So I'm really happy that Anolog Youth has dropped in EX1. Really powerful card, and I run 2. You could run more, but I feel like the bad side of this card is if the on play goes off and you don't get any Digimon cards. That has happened, and you've basically got to trash your options. And I've got a fair powerful few options which really help this deck run quite consistently. So to see them kind of go into the trash is a little bit unfortunate. So I feel like 2 is just a nice comfortable balance, but you can flex that if you want to. Then lastly, it's gotta be Takumi. I mean, Takumi is an absolute lifesaver. Obviously stopping the rookie rush from popping off. It can be a bit of detriment to your side, because obviously if you are using like your Morphomon and your Wormmon, you know, you're gonna have to pay one memory to swing. But because we do have that Togemon tech in the build, we have that option to still kind of effectively do the draw effect and then swing with Toga, which doesn't actually get affected by Takumi, which is nice. But the benefit of this is on your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this Tamer and trigger 1 draw. So because I'm rocking 2 in the deck, if I have 2 on the field and I digivolve, I can essentially get 2 additional draws from this. So the perfect scenario on this would be if I'm digivolving from, say, say Argomon, going to Togemon, suspending these as well, then effectively I'm getting one draw from the evolution, and then 2 additional draws from Takumi, and then I'm getting the actual draws from the evolution effects from Togemon. So absolutely great ways to get 4 cards nicely in my hand, which can change the absolute game state and really just set up some awesome plays. So that's it for my Tamers. Really powerful set. Like I say, you can flex the numbers on these, but I feel like these are definitely the most effective ones that you want to kind of have in your deck, especially if you're running Eosmon. For the options, I'm running 7 in the deck, starting off with 3 green memory boosts. So this right here is such a good card to keep my security that little bit more spicier, because it enables me to, 1, have some memory in the bank when I need to make my big plays, and also adds that search capability to get my rookies. Outside of this, there was no way of me actually searching my rookies and bring them out. So this really does help with that at a free cost. Is absolutely perfect, and has come super clutch when executing my level 6 Eosmon play, especially if I do have the other option card, win rate 60%, which just complements it beautifully. So its main effect when you drop this out for free: reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 green Digimon card amongst them to your hand, and then place the remaining at the bottom in any order. So because this deck actually runs 17 green and my white package is 18, 9 times out of 10 you're getting something from this. So it's really good to actually have these running, because it just, like I say, adds that amazing search capability and puts some memory in the bank, because on the main delay effect you can trash the card and then you'll be able to gain 2 memory. So once again, execute those big plays, making sure that obviously when you do have a Menoa out in the field, you got a hard reset to 3, then you got to essentially trash that, boom, you go into 5. And if this comes obviously in your security, you know, you could be sitting on a literally 4 memory right there. So you could literally go for the 3 and then boom, you're going up to 7. 7 memory is a lot of memory to play with, especially with this deck, because you obviously do have some sweet Evo capabilities, obviously getting those stacks nice and ready. And obviously if you do have the win rate, you're going to be popping off real nice, making sure that you can claim the win. So I run 3 in the deck right here, and like I say, the reason why I run 3 is 1, obviously getting the odds of actually having it in my hand, and 2, getting them in my security. I want my security to, if they're going to go in green package, they don't really have much spice in terms of removal, so I'm just playing to the strengths and, you know, using the memory for me to just use my level 6 to act as my removal. So that's the reason why I run 3 in the deck. Then we run 2, win rate 60%. This card is a godsend and so versatile, you can slot it in any deck. But when you want to be using this, you want to be using this for monsters that have either got 5 or 4 Digivolution costs, because effectively, if they're at 4 and you use this for 2, you can get an Evo for free. If they're at 5 and you use this, obviously you sack off a Digimon of that color that you're going to Evo into, and then you can get that for the cost of 1. And anything lower, you basically just going to be summoning it out for free. So really, really great having this on. And then the security effect, if it is in your security, it just goes to your owner's hand. So perfect for obviously executing those big plays. If there's going to be a mon that's just going to chew through your security, and you happen to have the green memory boost and the win rate, effectively you've got a free play going on right there, because you could just literally trash this on your next turn, play the win rate, and then Evo for 1. And that's usually the play that I usually go with, and comes super clutch, especially for me to claim game and just chew through their security stack with the big swing from Eosmon level 6. So you definitely want to be running these right here because it is great. And obviously if you do have a tamer in play, you can ignore the color requirements as well. So definitely key, if you haven't got a tamer out, then essentially you're going to need someone white on the field in order to use this option. So just be vigilant on that front. Obviously with the Eosmon build, I mean, we got white Digimon, we got white tamers pulling out for days. It's definitely not an issue right there. You could flex this to 3 if you wanted to, and maybe put this memory boost to 2. But I feel like with memory boost, it's a nice trade-off to have because it's quite universal. In comparison to the win rate, it's a little bit limited, and effectively you're kind of doing, if you get this in your trash, you're kind of effectively achieving the same thing. So I'd rather have that search capability if it happens to drop into my hand, and I can play that, as well as having obviously the bank of 2 memory when I want to execute some big plays. Lastly, we run 2 Cutting Edge as standard. So I've actually reduced this down a little bit because sometimes it's the memory requirement in order to execute this is usually not that ideal. But I say if you're starting off at 3, that's perfect. If you want to just pop this straight away, boom, you can get an Eosmon, you put them on 3. If they've got a tamer out, usually hard resets them on to 3 anyway, so that's when you can probably utilize that nicely. But when you kind of go to the, like, you know, if you're sitting on 1 and you want to throw in the Cutting Edge, that's when you're giving a little bit too much memory to the opposition, and not really ideal because they can quickly just recover that back up and, you know, clap cheeks, and you don't want that to happen to yourself. But with the Cutting Edge is absolutely ideal because when you play this, you're able to play a level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost, and then delete 1 Digimon obviously on your opponent's side with the DP value of the Eosmon that you played. So if I play the Eosmon level 5 that's got a 6k DP value, I can delete a 6k DP value mon of the opposition, which is pretty nice right there. Same applies for the Eosmon level 4, but that obviously will be 4k, and then you could trigger that on play effect, which is then going to throw out a tamer out if you've got one in your hand, and then if you already have Menoa on the field, then you could suspend that tamer there, as well, and then trigger the surge. So yeah, there's a lot of plays that you can actually execute with this, which is really sweet. It means that obviously you're deleting their mon, you're getting your Eosmon out on the field, you're kind of shifting that board presence, which is really nice. Obviously if this goes in, activates from your security, you activate the main effects, which is pretty nice. It kind of stops if they've got a plan in place where they could essentially claim game with their, say, their rookie that they had that was going to just sweep in to attack, you know, the tamer. At least then you can kind of hold that advance, chop them down, and get out your Eosmon to, you know, hopefully reclaim the battle right there. So I run 2, could flex it's 3 if you want to, but for me, because I'm running quite an even-ish package, 2 is just enough for me. So that is my Tamers and Options. Let's go over to the final thoughts. And there you go, fellow Tamers. My Eosmon deck profile, the purest deck profile that you're gonna get in terms of using green, its intended colors, in order to execute what it needs to do. So my honest opinion in regards to using Eosmon in this current format. So I do feel like it's probably not a meta or competitive depth build that you could use, though I feel like it's a diamond in the rough. I feel like you just really got to figure out like how you want to play it. And for me, I just want to play to its strengths. I already know it's not got a spicy security. Like 9 times out of 10, they're going to have an easy time going through that. But there is cards that can benefit you for adding in to the deck in order for you to, you know, get the plays that you want. So obviously for myself, it's the green memory boost. I felt like that was such a good addition because it's just helping me search out key cards, key rookies that I need in order for the whole combo sequence to even initiate. You know, being able to just search out my Morphomon when I need to is fantastic, and combining that with Anolog Youth there as well, and the tech that you can do to force an egg out if you're deleted, and you know, with Eosmon level 6, you know, you're gonna have a stack with, you know, Digivolution sources, so you can obviously proc that, steal turns, force an egg out, and then continue your turn and just basically raffle for your deck. What I wanted to kind of do with this deck is create a form of awesome search engine to make it hyper consistent, and I must admit it's probably the most consistent deck I've actually used, just because I've got those options. If I've not got any rookies but I happen to have a green boost, boom, I'll play the green boost, and 9 times out of 10 out of 4 cards I will bump into a rookie straight then, and then I can start, you know, executing some plays there, which is always great. If I'm just falling on to an Eosmon level 5, then, you know, we could just go with a standard Eosmon strat and just play that and just literally just swarm the board if needs be. I feel like using this approach is definitely helping me combat the Iron Fisted Onslaught. You know, the thing that I found is when I had essentially level 5 Eosmon swarming the board, boom, one option card can wipe that board out clean. At least now that I'm using the, you know, the raising area, getting those eggs built up, using Togemon to trigger draw effects there as well, but I may have some level 5s in play. You know, if they do happen to Iron Fist Onslaught me, at least I've still got Togemon there chilling, and then I can go in with the Cherrymon blocker ultimate, which is nice because I can go in for the swing and not actually have the negative effects that I may have with Cherrymon. Though Cherrymon is a one cost evo, which is fantastic for the tempo plays, but I'd rather have something that's going to have some form of presence in order for me to activate Anolog Youth efficiently, and Cherrymon can't do that, or Wormmon can't do that. So that's the reason why they're actually not in this actual deck build, even though they are, you know, ideal and something that you could obviously flex in. But for me, I wanted to essentially use a Cherrymon which is level 5 in order to, you know, use Anolog Youth, because you can't do that with a level 4 lower. It has to be level 5 with Digivolution sources involved. With the win rate, really helps out with the Eosmon level 6 play, like without a doubt. And I feel like now with this card from the EX set, it makes this deck a lot more aggressive. I feel like you can actually play Eosmon level 6 and, you know, utilize the stack that it has to get those security checks in. And because the way I've built this deck is obviously going to be searching, I'm going to be, you know, getting my boss monsters so much more quickly. I have the removals to my disposal, and that's what I want. If they're bringing out their big boy, boom, I'm just going to bring out my big boy, delete that big boy, and then I'm going to go for a swing comfortably because I've got that win rate. And if I haven't got that win rate, I've used the green memory boost there, which is going to be just, you know, giving me that 2 memory when I need to play off these big plays and keep my turn being the primary thing. And obviously if my Eosmon level 6 gets deleted, I can just suspend Anolog Youth, gain them the memory, and then I can do a bit of a bigger play and able to choke out the opponent a lot more better, because that was another thing, is that I'm just giving too much memory out because I'm playing my level. I'm playing ultimates, being the main thing with my Eosmon level 5, which isn't always ideal. When you start giving them too much memory, they are utilizing the breeding area, making sure they're getting those stacks up, and then obviously just wiping you out when they bring out the big boy. So I feel like with this deck, if you're wanting something that's hyper consistent, really fun, very technical in terms of, you know, it is a swarm deck, but the interactions between the the tamers is unreal. You're like, you really have to be vigilant when you've got so many tamers out and then the interactions that you can do, because that's where this deck gets really technical and really fun. And let's face it, you know, you play to have fun, and this deck will not fail at that at all. But guys, if you do have any questions, make sure you drop a comment in the box. Like I say, I have been using this deck for probably over 2 months now, and even though I've taken some L's, I've taken some sweet wins, I love learning, I love tweaking it, I love refining it, and I feel like this deck build is definitely refined in a way that I can use it and feel like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I know what plays I'm trying to execute. But if you enjoyed it, smash it like a standard. Any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. That's your boy Digi Dread, off the mic.